Welcome back to the Slasher Siblings podcast. I'm your co-host Cicely.
I'm your host Tatum.
Co-host Matthew is also here today. Thank you, Matthew, for coming. Today we're talking about Pearl. It came out in 2022, rated R, hour and 43 minutes, and it got a 7 out of 10 on IMDb. In 1918, a young woman on the brink of madness pursues stardom in a desperate attempt to escape the drudgery, isolation, and lovelessness of life on her parents' farm.
Right.
Question from last week. Who wrote and directed A Nightmare on Elm Street? Hayden?
Wes Craven.
Easy peasy.
If you got that, then
Good job.
If not, better luck next time.
I feel like that was an easy one.
Should have been, because
we talked about it.
Yeah. So, if you didn't get that one, you weren't paying attention.
Yeah, you weren't listening in class.
Yeah, in Slasher Siblings class. Well, I was gonna say something, but I forgot what it was, so we'll just, go get into the movie here. Did you, before we actually start talking about the movie, did you notice that Mad Solar was a executive producer? That's
No.
Kid Cudi's.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, it's a song by Kid Cudi, but
Yeah.
it's his like production company or whatever.
Yeah, that's
He
cool.
started for like music artists and movies, so he was Mad Solar was like had something to do with the movie or something, I forget.
Yeah.
Anyway, it opens on like a younger version of the farm and Pearl, which I like.
Yeah.
I like that initial shot of the farm, and it's like brand new. It looks really cool.
Yeah,
I thought.
it's cool.
It's just. Oh, I remember what I wanted to say was that we're doing 2 episodes ahead, so we couldn't shout out Mom that she got trick or treat right.
Oh.
Yeah, so good job, Mom, for getting trick or treat right. We're just a week late.
Sorry about that.
But I just thought it was cool that we saw the farm when it was brand new, and that Pearl, who is obviously also played by Mia Goth in both movies, we see a younger version of her in this movie as well.
Yeah.
Obviously it was a prequel, but I mean, like, kind of cool to see Pearl when she was younger. But then there was a fight between the mom and Pearl. She was yelling at her because she was dancing in one of her old dresses. Like, what does it matter?
Yeah, why are you so
I mean, you're not
angry?
Yeah, like, you're not wearing the dress anymore, so does it really?
It's just sitting there.
Yeah, so who cares?
Yeah, who cares? That's when I knew. I was like, oh.
This is gonna be one of
This is
the
how
movies.
this is gonna go.
Yeah. But then, right after that, we see the pitchfork from the first movie.
Yeah.
This is the one that she stabs through the wall and into Wayne's eyes.
Yes.
So it was the iconic pitchfork of the movie, to which she kills a goose.
A goose?
Which is always the
What a
start of some
goose.
serial killer.
That's how they start, they say.
Yeah. And you also find out at this moment that the alligator was actually her pet.
Yeah. That's wild.
So the alligator
Trained to kill.
in X that killed Brittany Snow's character,
Yeah.
forgot her name, Bobby Lynn,
Yeah.
was her pet, and she had a name for it and everything.
Yeah. Bet you she trained it like that.
Yeah, well, that alligator was trying to eat Maxine
Yeah.
before she ate I think it's a she, before she ate Bobby Lynn. So I guess she was still feeding the alligator even this far into the future.
Yeah.
There was a moment when Pearl, said Maxine. This is played by the same actress. Where she was looking at the newspaper and she said it was the end of the war, so we know exactly when in the timeline, like in real life timeline, this is. But there was also something wrong with her dad, which if you looked at the newspaper, it said the Spanish flu.
Yeah.
So he must have got the Spanish flu, and
which is crazy.
It wrecked him, but
he couldn't do anything.
There's also there's just something wrong with the family in general.
For sure. All of them.
All of them. But right now we're noticing that something's wrong with Dad. And Pearl, I keep wanting to say Maxine.
Yeah.
That's next week. Pearl goes into town to get Dad's medicine, which is actually just morphine.
Yeah.
So it's not going to make him any better. It's just making him not hurt, I guess.
He's kind of just like a vegetable at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. She goes into town, she gets the medicine, but then she also goes to see a movie that apparently she loves to go see. And this is where she meets the projectionist outside. She was just standing out there reading the movie card thing. And she meets the projectionist, and he's talking to her, saying about how she needs to live her life and be happy and stuff like that. But as she's leaving of making this new friend, he gives her this little piece of the movie frame from the actual movie reel and says, take this with you as what did he say, to remember it or something. And she asked, well, wouldn't that mess up the movie or whatever? He's like, no, I'll splice it back together. It's like, yeah, I guess that's fair. It's just one tiny frame. But she actually ends up losing the movie frame as she's riding home on her bike. And this is also the moment when we meet the Scarecrow, which is a strange scene.
The weirdest scene in the movie is the Scarecrow.
Weirdest? Yeah.
Yeah, weirdest.
Yeah, that's definitely the weirdest. And the weirdest part of it was probably that dude's head appearing.
Yeah, that was very weird. I thought the Scarecrow was gonna
attack her or
come
something.
to life.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. But
made me nervous watching the whole scene.
Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing. The Scarecrow was just gonna get up and start attacking her or something. I was not expecting the projectionist's head to just appear on the Scarecrow's body.
No.
But then I thought it was funny when she just screamed, "I'm married!"
I know.
It's not her brain doing it or something. The projectionist was actually there. But in the very next scene right after that, it's very obvious that Pearl has a rough relationship with the parents. I think this is the first dinner scene, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And Pearl is made... she forces Pearl to go feed her dad. And I'm telling you right now, if I was ever like that, just kill me. Kill me.
Literally,
I can't live like that.
This is my verbal consent to you right now. If I am like that one day, just kill me, and it's okay.
Right.
Don't charge him for murder. No, it's fine. How can you...
You're basically stuck in a shell.
Yeah, you can't... You gotta be depressed and just...
Well, yeah, but they say that your brain works fine, and that you can tell everything's happening, but you just can't do anything about it.
Yeah. No thanks.
Literally hours upon hours a day, you just sit there staring at whatever you're facing.
Nah, I'm good.
No, absolutely not. But not only is she forced to feed her dad, but the mom just like gets smart with her all the time for like literally no reason.
Yeah, she's very rude to her. I
don't get it.
I don't like it.
I mean, I get she's frustrated having to take care of her husband and everything, but like...
And why does she make the daughter do everything?
Yeah, I don't know. And I get, she like chops the firewood and makes the food and,
Yeah, but that's your husband.
Yeah.
Take care of it.
Yeah. But like, she makes Pearl like clean his diapers and give him baths and feed him and give him his medicine. She's, from what I mean, there's probably more into it than, because she's gone for like hours, like one day a week.
Yeah.
But, when we see Pearl, she's always taking care of the dad, and then the mom's like, I take care of your dad all day long, blah, blah, blah. No, I think it's Pearl that does that. You make her do everything, so I don't think... So yeah, it's kind of her fault that she turns out the way she does.
Yeah.
But then Mitzi tells her about the Christmas chorus line.
Uh-huh.
And you could see, like, the spark glow in her eyes. She's like, this is my chance, I want to get the hell out of here. Yeah, I can do it. I want to get out of here. This is it. And, she ends up sneaking out that night, which I get it.
Yeah.
It makes sense because she wants to desperately be a dancer, and her mom is never gonna let her.
No. Not with what she expects of her, no.
No. And it's just insane that the mom doesn't even try to cater anything to Pearl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't even try to make her happy in any way. She's just like, no, you need to stay here and help me. When in reality, you make Pearl do everything.
Do everything. I wouldn't want to live that life.
No. I wouldn't want to live the dad's life either.
No,
like,
that's worse.
I mean, yeah, that's worse. You're just like basically sitting and staring, at whatever.
Yeah.
But then you're also watching like you're also watching like your wife terrorize your
and you can't say anything about it.
Your daughter, yeah. I mean, Pearl's not perfect, but like neither are you.
Yeah.
Like you're pretty awful to her, I mean. And she snuck out that night and stole one of her mom's dresses to meet the projectionist because the mom, is being pretty awful to her.
Yeah.
But like, she wants someone to say, should I do it? Like, go do it. You'll be great. Obviously, that's not coming from the mom.
Yeah.
So she meets the projectionist that night. And they watch a new movie, which seems to be a interesting way to kind of hang out for the first time.
Yeah.
Well, this chick I thought was kind of, pretty. I'm going to show her a porn movie that was made like a week ago or whatever.
I couldn't imagine watching that on a first date. I would leave for sure.
I mean, in Pearl's head, she probably thought it was cool because she's already messed up, but like
she probably liked it.
It just seems like a crazy first date to me.
Not ideal.
But then she comes home and mom was crying in her bed. Which, I get, she's upset about having a daughter to her, in her eyes, not listen to her. And then a husband that is a vegetable.
Yeah, that would suck.
It sucks, yeah. But I think she's a little hard on Pearl half the time, most of the time in the movie.
Yeah, I think so too.
But then this is the scene that Pearl and her dad are on the dock down by the lake. Just kind of a crazy scene. She's basically saying to her dad, like, I'm gonna fucking throw you and let you get eaten by the alligator because I want to be a dancer.
Yeah.
So when I become a dancer, you're dead.
Period.
That's kind of crazy to just flat out say that to your dad while you're staring down an alligator, you know? I kind of think that if the mom wouldn't have come at that moment, she probably would have pushed him.
I think she would have too.
She
said, "What are you doing?" "Talking to Daddy."
You're gonna throw him in the water, is what you're gonna do. The next scene that I wanted to talk about was the weird scene with Mom finding the movie card. I think she hid the movie card in that top hat.
Yeah.
Why is she so butthurt about her? I mean, I get it, you know, she could get sick or whatever, but like, she's acting like she shouldn't leave the farm and do anything ever.
She basically banned her from leaving.
Right. So she finds this movie card that she went and saw the movie one time. And then she's like, it causes this whole scene where the mom's just screaming at Pearl saying that she's an awful person when she isn't that great of a person either.
Oh, yeah.
She's terrible. Then she wants to kill her dad. She threatens to slit her dad's throat.
Crazy.
What the fuck is going? What is wrong with you? Yeah. And then she stabs the fucking table and nearly beats the shit out of Pearl. And the thing is that she pushes the mom against a wall and her dress catches on fire.
Yeah.
And the dad and mom both act like Pearl did it on purpose. Like, she literally set her on fire when she pushed her.
Didn't. She didn't know that was going to happen.
No, and then she even tried putting the fire out. I mean, it was boiling water, so it'd burn her, but it was like, she put the fire out. If she really wanted to kill her, she would have just let her burn. Let it happen.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But they both acted, I mean, the dad didn't really act too much like it, but like, you could see that he was like scared of Pearl and just like staring at her and stuff. Yeah. And it's crazy that he was just like, oh, she killed the mom. Like, no, she didn't. Like, she pushed her against the wall and her dress caught on fire. It's not really her fault.
Yeah.
But immediately after this, she went back to the projectionist and slept with him. Kind of seems like an appropriate response to killing your parents.
Yeah.
Or your mom, at least.
Yeah, just go do that.
Cheat on your husband after slaughtering your mom. Not really slaughtering your mom. She's not dead yet, but it's just, that's a crazy response to me. And I mean, I get it. She had to get out, you know, out of that house after, you know, that big blow up happened. And then, well, then her basically blowing up her mom.
Yeah.
That's still kind of a crazy reaction to me, just running off and
you're
sleeping with the projectionist. But then there's a couple moments where her like, or no, this isn't. No, it was when she went and saw him the first time. She was like, "Yeah, I wish they would just die," and he was like, "Excuse me, what the fuck did you just say?" But then this time they slept together, and she jumped up out of bed and ran to get dressed, and he's like, "Where are you going? Let me at least give you a ride." Worst idea.
Bad idea.
Bad idea offering to give her a ride. That was stupid. So he's coming to the house, which is not a good idea at all. It eventually turns pretty horrible. And by that I mean the fact that he comes in the house, meets the dad, and right in front of the dad, she's just basically straight up like, "Yeah, I'm cheating on my husband with
Yeah.
this dude, you know. And then after that, she takes him upstairs, and she tries to sleep with him again.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, this is weird, like vegetable dad's downstairs, and you're trying to sleep with me. And he kind of pushes her off of him and goes downstairs to find out what the banging noise is, because he thought it was her dad. And she was like, oh, well, that's my dog. I had to put him in the cellar because he made a mess while I was gone or whatever, right? So they go outside, and he's trying to leave because, you know, she's kind of creeping him out a little bit.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, and he says something about her dog, and she's like, oh, I don't have a dog. Well,
well, there you go.
You fucked yourself there. You did yourself a bad one on that,
Yeah.
that one.
You did yourself dirty there.
And speaking of which, where the place that the mom was locked in was actually the same place that Jenna Ortega's character was locked in.
Oh.
That's the same cellar or whatever.
Interesting.
I forgot her name too. It's not coming to me
Oh,
though.
that makes sense. That makes sense. I do remember that
Racine,
scene now.
wasn't it? Something like that.
Something like that.
Anyway, he's going to leave, and out comes the pitchfork from the first movie again.
Yeah.
And she kills the projectionist with it. Stabs him right in the chest. And then she goes inside. Well, no, not yet. Because the crazier part is the fact that he is on the ground telling her not to kill him, right? And she stabs the pitchfork through his mouth. Which is pretty...
disgusting.
That's disgusting and insane at the same time, you know?
Guess she's
like,
a good serial killer. You know?
I guess so, yeah, but like, she stabs him through the mouth, which is also where the spine is too, and just leaves him there, like attached to the ground.
Disgusting.
That's crazy.
Evil.
Yeah, it's evil, yeah, but it's pretty fucking crazy. But then she goes inside and throws the mom down the steps. She was trying to climb back up to get out of the cellar. That's what all that noise was. But then she just throws her back down. Like, she's gotta be dead at some point after being...
Come on, just die.
like, throw down the
You're
stairs a
holding
couple
on.
times, you know? But then... Pearl runs upstairs, gets changed, and, like, ready for the chorus line and stuff. But then she goes back downstairs, ready to leave, and she kills the dad. Which, in some way, you gotta think, like, he's probably put out of his misery now, you know?
I think it was best for him to die.
Yeah, I would think so, too. At least for me, that if I was in that situation. And the worst part is, this was 1918, so there wasn't really anything for you to, like...
watch or...
like, pass the time.
Yeah.
Because if you're sitting in one spot the same way for the rest of your life, and you have to stare at the wall or out the window...
what's the point, even?
I mean, I don't even see a point of doing that today.
Yeah.
But it seems worse back then. Anyway. So he was probably put out of his misery. At least I would see it that way. And then she starts cleaning everything up and pushes the car into the swamp, which is kind of another callback to Psycho, and also how the first movie had the car in the swamp as well. But then in the next scene, she goes to the auditions, and she's talking to Mitzi about, you know, everything going on. Mitzi makes her switch her places at this point. and you just saw girl after girl coming out crying because they said no to her and everything. But then she dances for the judges, which I don't think was all that bad.
I didn't think so either.
I thought it was a pretty cool dance. And I liked the visuals behind her and like the people.
It was a cool scene for sure.
Yeah, it was a cool scene. But they say no to her even. Which seems crazy.
Yeah, I thought she was pretty good actually.
Yeah, and then they were like, no, we want somebody blonde.
Oh, okay. Right.
Now, that kind of explains why she hates blondes in X.
Yeah.
There was that scene out on the dock. She's like, I hate blondes. Or something. Or
yeah.
I forget how she said it in X, but she said something about hating blondes and then pushed Brittany Snow into the alligator's mouth. And they get to the house after she was obviously upset.
Yeah.
And she just lets everything out to Mitzi in a wild scene, talking about how she cheated on Mitzi's brother, Howard, and she killed all these people, and all she wants to do is dance, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you might want to stop now.
Yeah.
Because at first, it wasn't like she flat out said, I killed people. She was like, at first, she wished people were dead. And then I killed animals. And then she was like, but I killed animals, and I killed my parents. Like, that's when she was pretty much forced to the rest of the movie play out. So, as Mitzi was trying to leave, like actually trying to leave, Pearl was like, alright, just tell me the truth. You got the part right. And she was like, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Like, they said that they wanted a blonde, and the very next girl was blonde. Kind of
gives it away.
Yeah, a little bit. So, this is also the scene where Pearl chases Mitzi. So, yeah, it's possible that she might not have said anything. But it's like, can you take that risk?
Yeah.
But also, it's like, that's your sister-in-law that you just blurted all the evidence to.
Yeah.
When you didn't really need to. So it was like, she kind of set herself up for another kill,
For sure.
But she chases Mitzi down the driveway, and she ends up hitting her with the axe. I think wasn't the axe an X at some point too, I think.
Oh,
anyway,
probably.
That was a pretty cool scene to see her start chasing Mitzi down the driveway.
Yeah. I didn't like that.
I really liked the way it was shot. Kind of like in front, but like lower than Mitzi, and like you could see Pearl in the background just like getting closer and closer.
Makes it even more scary.
And I like the fact that Mitzi got hit like 3 times by the axe before she actually fell down. It's like, oh, the killer's chasing me, I get hit 1 time and I instantly, I instantly fall on the ground.
Yeah.
And get chopped up. I kind of like
give it a little suspense.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of like that it took her a couple chances to kill her, or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
But the very next scene is her chopping Mitzi up, which actually looked incredibly real to me, I think. And the what do you call it? Like the it looked like she was actually chopping Mitzi up for real. The special effects were really, really good for that scene, especially. Yeah. I thought they were good in the entire movie, but that moment there was really good. But this is where she's actually cleaning everything up. Mitzi, and I think this is the moment when she goes down to her mom in the cellar and like lays with her and like envisions her being a good mother for once.
Yeah.
But then, for the final scene of the movie, Howard finally comes home and just sees
all the chaos.
The dead pig on the porch. Or no, it's not on the porch. It's on the
Ew, that was so gross.
on the dinner table, and the mom and dad are just sitting there dead. The food was moldy. And then there's Pearl standing there and like, Howard, I'm so glad you're home. And that smile over the end credits.
Yeah, freaky.
That was a freaky moment. Just amazingly, acted by Mia Goth. She was fantastic in both of these movies. Yeah, she was really good.
I do really like her after these movies.
And I can't imagine Maxine being bad.
No.
As like a movie.
I think it's gonna be good.
I think it's gonna be good. Just because Mia Goth's, the main character, and that it's A24, and really I haven't had an A24 movie that I've hated.
Yeah.
And which makes me pretty excited to see the movie. But I actually give this like an 8 or an 8.5 because I like this movie probably just as much as X. I thought this movie was a great sequel, prequel, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. And the special effects were really well done. The writing was awesome. The directing, the camera work, everything about it was really, really, really awesome. And it's a great, second movie to the trilogy. And it makes me really excited to see Maxine as well. Which, by the way, comes out July 7th.
Not today.
Not today. I had the dates wrong. But, so the woman... these are the fear facts, by the way. The woman who was Pearl's mom was actually the intimacy coordinator on X.
Oh.
She actually learned German for this role.
Wow.
And she was so convincing that some of the German crew members thought that she was legitimately German.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Like that's how well she did the accent. And for the second one, Pearl, this film was actually secretly filmed at the same time as X.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so they were filmed together basically.
Yeah.
And the director and Mia Goth actually wrote it and talked a lot about the movie over FaceTime.
Oh wow!
Because both movies were being filmed during COVID.
Yeah.
And Mia Goth helped write this movie.
Oh, that's awesome.
And stuff too. But they were on FaceTime for most of the writing and
that's interesting.
Whatnot. And there's a few callbacks. Obviously, the pitchfork and stuff like that, and her milking the cow in almost the exact same outfit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maxine.
It looks really similar.
Yeah, so some of the other ones that are sort of hard to miss unless you're kind of paying attention is that Pearl stands on an X when she does the dance.
Oh, really?
Yeah, up on the stage, she walks up and stands on an X. The judges say that they're looking for an X factor.
Yeah.
Which is what they say pretty much the whole time in the first movie.
Uh-huh.
And also the porn film is a callback to X with the whole premise of the movie being, them filming a porn. And, filming a porno, rather, whatever the correct
term, the PC term.
Yeah, or the grammatically correct word for that sentence.
Whatever.
But there was a bunch of callbacks in the movie, and it was cool to see a younger version of this house.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool to see you look at the front door and it's that's where Pearl ends up dying later, and
You just notice the little things.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And like she's in the cellar and it's like, oh, Jenna Ortega's character was down here.
Yeah.
And stuff.
I remember this.
Cool. And like the wall with the big pile of hay, the big stack of hay was where Wayne got killed and stuff. It was just cool. And the smile for the last fear fact, the smile at the end of the movie was completely unplanned. She was supposed to smile over the end credit scene, but he just didn't call cut.
Yeah.
He just let her go. It went on for 1 minute and 51 seconds to where she was waiting for him to call cut, and like the tears and her head shaking like that was her just like anticipating him calling cut, and she was just like
milking it.
Well, she was just like what the proper word is, like she was just like trying to. She wanted him to call cut, and she wasn't.
She was pushing through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it brought out one of the creepiest scenes, honestly.
It really did.
And
it was effective.
And it being unplanned, meaning that was the first time she did that scene.
Yeah.
And for her to exert that much effort and just into a smile.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Which I really liked the ending, like the smile over the credit scene. It was pretty aesthetically creepy.
Yeah,
to steal your word.
Aesthetic.
So go ahead and read the question for next week.
How many murderers are revealed at the end of the movie Scream? Come
Easy.
on.
If you don't get this one,
easy pickings.
If you don't get this one, then
we're gonna be disappointed.
Exactly. Especially because this is one of my favorite slasher films.
Same. Come on, guys.
If it wasn't for Michael Myers, it probably would be your favorite.
Yeah.
This is my favorite slasher. Anyway. Our next movie is going to be Maxine, which it comes out July 7th. So go and see it, especially if you liked these two movies.
Yeah.
We want to thank everyone for listening, and again, A24 for giving us that free ticket.
Pretty cool.
To see Maxine, and I'm actually pretty excited to go see this because I can't imagine this being a bad movie.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I do too. So, with that, thanks for listening again, and we will catch you next week with Maxine.
Catch you later!